Hey everyone, let's talk about your Beyond Realism module review assignment. Now, the first thing I want you to do anytime you start one of our modular review assignments, if you are working in a Google Doc, I need you to go up to the share button up here in the right-hand corner and click it. And we're going to make sure that our share settings are set to services.live. It's so important that all of your Google Docs assignments are set to services.live. If it's changed to say restricted, then your teachers aren't going to be able to have access to your assignments. So we definitely want to make sure that it's set to services.live. And then we can click done, and that will save our share settings. So let's actually talk about this assignment now. This assignment is a review for the Beyond Realism module. In this module, we have read a variety of different short stories by realist writers. Now, the first thing you're going to do in this assignment is choose one short story from the regionalism category and one short story from the naturalism category. Now, regionalism and naturalism are the two types of realism that we focused on in this module. So again, all you're going to do for step one is choose one story from this column and then one story from this column. And to make your selection, you'll highlight, and then you'll need to go up here to this little marker icon. If you hover over it, it'll say highlight color. And you can choose any color that suits your fancy and click it, and it will highlight your selection. And then you'll do the exact same thing in the right-hand column. So we are going to be working with those two stories for the remainder of this assignment. So it's very important that you choose a story from each category, regionalism and naturalism, that you really liked and really understood. So let's take a look at number 2. Identify 3 traits of regionalism and 3 traits of naturalism found in each story selected above. Now, you are going to do the exact same thing for both of these stories. So for regionalism, if I say that I'm going to work with A Call Loan by O. Henry, I need to talk about 3 traits of regionalism that were found in that story. And then if I say that I'm going to work with The Story of an Hour for naturalism, then I need to identify 3 traits of naturalism in that story. Now, if you're not quite sure, if you don't quite remember what the traits of regionalism and naturalism are, I would suggest you go back to the very first lesson in the Beyond Realism module. There are several slides that explain what those traits are. Now, the very last thing that you'll do for this assignment, in your own words, describe the theme of each story selected above. So you're going to describe in your own words the theme of A Call Loan, and then describe in your own words the theme of The Story of an Hour, or whichever stories you chose from each of those 2 categories, right? So just as a reminder, the theme of any story is going to be the life lesson or the moral of that story. My best suggestion for identifying theme is to think about the conflict of that story. Now, there might be some minor conflicts, there might be multiple minor conflicts, but we really, to determine theme, just need to focus on the major conflict. What was the biggest issue that the main character or characters faced in that story? Think about that conflict and think about how they overcame it. What did they learn about themselves or their society, or what maybe worked out for the greater good, or maybe not so much for those characters? And that's really and truly going to be the theme or the life lesson of that story. So again, you're going to do that for both of the stories, the one you chose for regionalism and then the one you chose for naturalism.